JJ, you've had a lot of games recently where the second half kind of pick things up and were able to either get back in the game or ultimately get the lead. What did you see different tonight in how Phoenix played?
They scored on the first 13 possessions of the second half.
Did you see anything connecting those defensive possessions that wasn't to your liking?
They had about a 140 offensive rating. They had a 1.43 offensive rating when they touched the paint. So they touched the paint on every possession, basically. We couldn't keep them out of the paint.
You guys had that time where you had some practice time coming off the NBA Cup quarterfinal, and defense was a point of emphasis. How much was point of attack, perimeter defense, something that was diagnosed with the group? And when it's happening in real time, like, what are your kind of options as the coach?
Yeah, I mean, we certainly talk about containing the basketball at the point of attack, with our pickup points and, guarding your yard. Overall, the sort of execution, it's when your margin for error is not super high. You need to be able to, it's like very detailed to be able to execute. And when we do it, we can string together some good defensive possessions. We didn't do that at all tonight. And, we tried zone. They got a layup and an open three. I don't know why we were guarding Mark Williams at the three-point line when they got the three, and didn't get the ball iced in pick and roll. On the second possession of zone, they got middle, didn't go under to get a layup. So it's like, again, you don't do the things, we're trying to do to sort of protect and keep the ball on the side, then you get exploited. And I think we've had some games where we did things well, but I think the theme with our team again is like these young teams that move, we just can't move. So it's like we're stuck in mud. Zone didn't work, and then we went to a 15 in the second half, 1 through 5 switching, that didn't work. So at that point, you're out of options.
You guys, I think it's 28 games now. The first time all season you lost consecutive games. What does that say about kind of the character of your group, that you made it more than a third of the season before this happened? Well,
the guys have been great about responding to challenges, whether that's been injuries, a loss, a poor performance. But, it's got a lot of games left. So we got to continue that trend, and we got to stick together. I told the guys, I really just want them, it's coming off these 2 games. You're not going to have a good taste in your mouth, and you're going to be thinking about how you played, how the team's playing. It's like I told them, detach tomorrow, be with your family, enjoy the holiday. We'll all come with the right mentality on Christmas.
Just a quick follow-up. I know it's next man up, and you don't use excuses for guys being out, but I think this is 17 starting lineups now in 28 games.
It's weird because you guys kept asking me about the starting lineup in preseason.
And you predicted that it might be different.
So weird.
Take out I guess it's less about the starting lineup than just the rotation, like number of guys that
we've had 2 healthy games, yeah.
But how much does that affect the 5 on a string, right? When it's a different lineup every night, and without, again, using it as an excuse.
I think there's probably a touch of that, but we practice this stuff enough, we review this stuff enough, we show film on this stuff enough that to me it like comes down to, this is the noisiest press conference I've ever been a part of. It comes down to like just making the choice. It's making the choice. There's shortcuts you can take, or you can do the hard thing, and you can make the second effort, or you can sprint back, or you can't. It's just a choice, and there's a million choices in a game, and you're very likely not going to make every choice correctly. But can you make the vast majority of them correctly? That gives you a chance to win.
How much of that is what I wasn't going to ask this, but you brought it up. How much of that is like the conscious decision to make the choice versus just sort of like, this is who I am as a player, and I always make like the choice to play hard? Like, is there a difference between a team where you have to remind to be physical, to play hard, to play with intention, versus guys maybe like Phoenix? They have certain players, like I think a Goody, for instance, is like a guy who just, that's how he plays.
Yeah, that's accurate.
Does this group have enough as currently constructed of guys who just like play that way? And
No.
Can you, with the guys in that room, can you get enough consistent effort to get to where you guys need to be defensively?
I think so.
Kind of to that theme, I mean, you said it's one of your previous answers. You said you guys just don't have the foot speed to keep up with some of these young teams. To Dan's questions, he was asking about just the effort. Is it more concerning when those choices, to your point, you said choices, when those choices just aren't being made consistently, like that?
It's not concerning. It's just, again, that's why I said it's the hard choice, and it's not the easy choice. It's human nature. We all do it. We do it on a daily basis. We make easy choices because it's comfortable. Comfortable doesn't win.
Dave asked about the ball containment. I was wondering more so about the off ball or even the help defense. How would you evaluate, not just tonight, but overall where you guys are at in terms of that area of defense, helping not just the initial help, but also helping the helper? It seemed like tonight.
Well, we had a guy the other day who hasn't played a lot who didn't know what a flood was in the middle of the game. So we're clearly, when we're not healthy and we haven't been healthy, we clearly have some room to grow in that area.
A little bit of housekeeping. Do you have an update on Jackson?
He tweaked his ankle soreness. He had tweaked it when we were here last week, so it just a retweak. He fell on it, and it's sore.
And what did you think of Austin's minutes?
It's hard to get. I mean, it was good to see him on the court. I'll just say that it was good to see him on the court, and I thought he had some nice drives.
Thanks, Coach.
Yep.
Let's get you to the highlights, Austin.